you have lost, let's say, the first 7 or so feet of this bookshelf. After that, you manage to get the fire out, and the rest of the ledgers and scrolls are still intact.
Dang.
Oh, geez.
Don't go lighting random things.
By the way, Victor, pouring a decanter of endless water on a bunch of books will destroy them just as easily as fire would.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least to prevent it from spreading.
My apologies.
Well, check for any other magical traps before you fiddle with anything else.
Victor goes in and tries to check to see if he can find anything.
Victor, give me an investigate check.
I don't want to hear any moral smug superiority from you, Victor, considering how much crap you've stepped in the course of our adventures together.
Wow.
Yay, reliable
Let's
talent.
not argue.
That's going to be a 20 investigation.
Looping all around the circle of the bookshelves, you would imagine as a fail-safe against exactly the kind of invasion all of you are perpetrating at the moment is a, what's the word? A channel running underneath the bookshelves. And you can smell some form of gas. This is a safe and a quick way to destroy all of their materials in case of an invasion. Other than that, you don't find anything in the room that triggers your trap alarm, your trap senses.
Victor will point it out, and then he will try and remove some of the books from the, I guess, near where the destruction was.
Genie will slap his hand and says, "Don't touch anything."
Pretty sure we're safe.
What do the spines on the book say?
Nothing. They're ledgers.
Okay, they're ledgers. Well, okay.
Most of them are ledgers. You know, there's some scroll cases. There are a few Darkanese texts amongst them.
Is there any active magic?
No.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Victor starts to pull them out by the armful and carry them into the other room and put them on the table.
Okay.
Genie's just gonna grab one and like on this end and like look at it.
I'm
One
going
of
to
them.
look for anything that seems important or useful to us.
So, Evie, as for looking for anything important or useful, it's impossible to tell. They're not labeled. They're just they're ledgers that have been filled in over time. You see some Darkanese texts here or there, but when you pull one or another off, it's nothing special. It's the kind of common text you might have found over your course of your adventures. Remember that no Darkanese books are really common, so to speak, but these would be things like old histories and maps, the lineages of kings, just boring kind of sitting room reading type material.
So once Victor gets the books out of the trapped chamber and onto the table, he's going to suggest that we take a short respite and go through the books, and those who need it can rest.
Not right now. I think we make this place safe before we take a rest.
So flipping through some of the ledgers can only be described as the ravings of a madman. You are reading functionally dream journals. Christen has, and not only Christen, but the other high members of his order have meticulously described these visions they've been receiving in their dreams since arriving in Darkhan. A lot of what you are flipping through are basically warped ramblings, mutations of even his already extreme Aetherine faith.
So Victor is specifically looking for anything that might tie the thing that Ekon has been praying to and his angel to something similar with Christen.
And if you had weeks and weeks and weeks to go through and study these texts, you might find such a thing. But coming across it by chance does not occur in the few moments you are sitting at the table here.
Genie
Yeah,
bag of holding?
Yeah, we can put the bag.
Pack up
Any-
as much of it as we
Before we
can.
bag anything, can Jeannie and I just go over these real quick with investigation to see if there's anything we think might be useful or interesting?
You would have to actually sit down and take the time to start studying
Okay.
through them. So
From outward appearances, there's nothing differentiating any of these, basically, is my question.
the mental image that I had in my mind designing this room was Kevin Spacey in Seven with his just endless notebooks of just rambling nonsense
It's just a whole bunch of books saying Pepe Silva.
over and over and over again. But a lot of it, as you're flipping through, is recognizable as Aetherine Faith, but a mutated and warped version of it. I will let somebody give me one investigation check, just going through the bookshelf.
All right. I got a.
I think it's Genie.
It
Well,
would have to be,
I've
it
got-
had to be either Ekon or Genie, because you're the ones that are in the room.
Okay, I can do it. Can I apply my can I apply guidance?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Is this advantage or disadvantage?
Just
or no, it's
standard.
Straight. Okay. So that is a.
Well, advantage if Ekon is helping you search.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what I wanted to do in the first place.
Good.
Okay. That is. You said investigation. That is a 30.
Okay. One thing you do find that catches your eye, especially as you start to pack these books into your bag of holding, is you come across a folded piece of parchment. And opening it, it's written in a regal hand, and you immediately recognize it as an informal agreement between Azalin King and Chrisen, granting him this land if he's able to take it from the undead. It's not similar at all to the sort of agreement that Azalin had with Evie, because Chrisen is not a nobleman who was attempting to start a house or profit from the land. This is simply an informal agreement giving him the place to do with what he will if he can remove the threat from the area.
I'll whistle at Evie and then hand it to her. There's your proof.
Yeah, it's different from ours, but he was interested in Kristen's magic, probably.
So you're going to bag up this whole library, or what's left of it anyway?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a good 80% of the library left.
Just looking for the linking book that'll open up the fireplace, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one that goes back to Verdisco.
Did I? Okay, so this is very important. Did Jeannie find a post-it note with the password to this door?
You find a book of used Sudoku puzzles.
Genie, go ahead and take another 2 from my words of resolve too.
Oh yeah, sure. I
You
forgot.
can take 2 from me as well.
All right.
Do everything we can for you. If there's nothing else, then let's head upward.
Do we want to take a short rest in here? This is a pretty securable spot.
I'm pretty good on resources. The only thing I'm worried about is Genie's hit points, but I don't know about other people.
I have one level 1 slot. My turret's about to expire, and I've got 3 level 3 spell slots. That's all I
Yeah,
got.
but none of that comes back on a short rest, right?
The noble spell slot would, which would allow me to summon my turret again. But other than that, like that's all I would get is that and the hit points.
I'm going to step away for 2 minutes, gentlemen. I'll be right back.
So
I
it's
say
up to
keep
you.
going unless someone else really needs something.
I've still got most of my key points.
It would
Yeah,
give me
I'm
my
good.
spell slots back, but I don't need it. Anything else?
If Genie gets super dire, I'll just cast Catnap on myself. But I'm trying to save my spell slots for when like stuff goes really bad and Edmont has to go werewolf.
Can
I
you, well, I've actually already expended that for the day, I thought. Didn't I?
I thought you could
used
just do
that
it as
last
much.
time.
I thought you could
Oh, that
use it
was-
as many times as you want.
That was after. No, it's once a long rest.
Oh.
Well, you used that back in the town, not here in
Yeah.
the tower.
Yeah,
We
but we
did.
did take a long rest
Yeah.
in between.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
So I do have access to that.
You're still the best person to haste.
Give haste. Especially, I might not werewolf now. I like don't
I
really
mean, I
look
get
at
my channel
instead of-
divinities back now I'm looking at it, but again, it's just like I still have a bunch of spell slots.
I mean, if we want to take a rest, I think this is the opportunity. If not,
I would like to keep because this is still a 5th level spell slot on my holy weapon right now.
Yeah, also your
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
freedom of movement.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. No,
Yeah.
no, I'm good to go. I've got like, even if I run out of spell slots, I've still got lots of tricks up my sleeve.
How's Orson?
I'm tricksy. He's good.
Okay.
Like he basically almost never dipped out of his temporary hit points. He's currently got 65 hit points and 11 temp hit points.
All right, my apologies. What's next in this
They were going upstairs.
You guys are just making
discussing
mincemeat out of my
otherwise.
dungeon.
I do have a question. Since we walked into the dungeon, how long has it been? Because remember, I've only got an hour on my turret.
I think you're probably rubbing up against that really hard. In
Okay,
fact, that last encounter was probably it.
Okay.
Because you guys have
I
spent a
will
lot
just-
of time looking through books and killing
Yeah.
prisoners and
Fair enough.
climbing
trying
up and
to-
down stairs. And
I'm trying to be good about that.
all right, let me save this map.
Trying to
Which-
be a responsible player.
I think I know which map this is. Wait a minute.
This might not be it.
Yeah, we're going up. I think this is it because this is where that bottom one took us.
The one that wouldn't open.
Yeah.
Let me bear
So we
with
would
me
be
a
over
second.
here somewhere.
Was it this?
Has there been no view outside of the building?
None whatsoever.
Okay. Did you take us to the wrong floor?
Might have. Yeah, I sure did. I just fat fingered it for the first time in 5 years because McDohl jinxed me. It's all
You
McDohl's
jinxed
fault.
yourself.
He does. You owe everybody an apology, McDohl.
I apologize to everyone.
I
It's
accept
a-
your apology.
It's okay. We forgive you. Thanks for playing. God damn it. Oh, I feel so stupid. Okay, I can fix it. It's not.
Did you goof it? You goofed it, huh?
I done goofed. Whew. All right. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I'm sorry, Rickard.
It's okay.
I assume we're not going to have Fog of War when we load it.
Unless you have us blindfold while you.
No, I have to. I have to reset the fog of war. You guys can blindfold while I do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just not watching.
Just need to
I-
go to immigrant.com. Go ahead and make yourself a cup of coffee. This is gonna take me a couple minutes to.
I've never done this before. How do I blindfold myself?
Press B.
I'm just tabbed out.
Okay.
I'll do
I am
it.
blindfolded.
Okay, let me make sure I get the right. Yeah, this is the one I need. Open image in new tab. Okay, so this map we save here. This one I open. No, you know what? Let's... Can you hear all of my incessant clicking?
All I can hear is like objects being shifted around. It's like that one automated werewolf, One Night Ultimate Werewolf. It's like
Like crickets.
like picks up the cards too randomly.
All right, let me save this map here. Okay. And I just have to redo the fog of war that we've done. So you had previously climbed. You can guys take off your blindfold now.
Okay.
You had previously climbed up this landing.
Yep, that sounds about right.
And now you're climbing up this landing, which is the top landing of this particular shaft.
Okay.
If Edmont will get off my lens, my goodness, what are you doing?
Edmont's just eager.
Just want to ride the lens, man. That's all.
Sir, yeah, it's like he's a super cool guy. He's gonna surf it.
Glasses are sexy. So, Getting up to the top of the landing, you find yourself at the top of this dais. There is a door to the south, and then one off to your right as you come up.
Southwest and Dennis.
And Dennis.
Well, family, what do you say? Which way do we go?
I think we should open this door first. Judging by the direction of things, this probably leads towards the other staircase.
Fair enough. Edmont steps in front and says he's going to start with. Oh no, my notes vanished when I typed in something. Hang on, let me.
Haha, nerd.
I don't think
Those
Malagranata
two
can
doors
work this
there?
on the tower.
It's Castanaias.
Yeah, there's a door here.
Yep.
Yeah,
Opening.
yeah. I'll start with Castanaias.
Okay. And the door indeed opens.
Hey.
Opens into a small hallway chamber with doors to the north and the south. As you open, a man stands in the hallway as though expecting you, one of the bishops. As soon as the door opens, he splays his arms from side to side. He says, "There need be no more death today. Can we agree on that?" He's speaking in Darkanese.
Edmont says that all depends on whether or not the false High Aethar is going to bend a knee to the true High Aethar.
He shakes his head, says, "The High Aethar won't live out the week. And there are those of us amongst the religion that seek to shrug off the yoke of his rule."
May we speak with the High Aethar? It sounds like violence would not serve any purpose at this point.
He says, "Please, I am Alanus. You may speak to me."
Where is the High Aethar?
And he motions with his staff up to the ceiling above his head. Above, gravely wounded.
He has perverted this religion, you realize that.
Er's miracles have forsaken him. We've all seen it.
So are you prepared to
In
offer
addition-
terms of surrender, unconditional?
He tells you that the other followers remaining in the tower could be brought to bear on his words. There was another more fanatical faction who was more loyal to Christen's word until his death. But you seem to have killed them all on your way up.
There's a couple left. I'm assuming those were the low levels. I think you could probably bring them back into the fold.
There are a few that we've restrained or left imprisoned down below.
I can't see his token, by the way. Does he have a token?
Yeah, he's just standing in this hallway. There's a door to his left and his right.
Will you take us to Christen?
He tells you that before he can do that, he needs to know that you will offer him and his faction of the followers amnesty.
If you intend to put this all behind you and no longer follow this perversion of faith of the Aetherine, I have no qualms with that.
He says that he can promise only to follow the path of air, wherever it happens to be laid down. But he and others of his faction have come to believe that Christen strayed from that path long ago.
And how many other factions still have living members in this tower, other than Christen himself?
He tells you he would be surprised to discover there was even a dozen men left here. Depends on how many you've killed coming up. He hasn't been downstairs since the fight broke out in the village.
We left a few alive in the basement.
That village near the tower where they crucify people, how many other places like that exist?
And he tells you that Christen had established one or two other spots over the course of his pilgrimage across Darkhan. But once each one no longer served his purpose, they were abandoned and left behind in disuse. This is why he doesn't allow any repairs or any construction to be done. He doesn't intend to stay in one place for a very long time.
We'll need those locations so we can check for ourselves, obviously.
He nods. He can reload those.
So
I
here,
think Ekon, and maybe occasionally me adding in, but I think Ekon needs to take the conversation from here.
yeah, I think so. Again, these seem like good terms, but these seem like, again, the terms here are unconditional surrender. We won't cause any more harm to you or members of your faction. In exchange, you're going to come with us and make sure that we don't inadvertently harm you or members of your faction as we finish up the tower. And Kristen's fate is ultimately up to me.
He corrects you and says, surely Kristen's fate is up to God.
And I am God's conduit on this plane.
And I fear you are too late, for God has already passed judgment upon him. You'll see what I mean when you see him.
I think Kristen has already suffered for his transgressions.
Kristen trusted two of the faithful, whom he called his red priests. One you've killed. The other, and he looks over to his left at this door. I have him trapped inside. You'll need to kill him before we can continue on. If he is allowed to live, there will be no peace for any one of us. This task's not beyond your ability, I should think.
No.
Is it power similar to the other Red Aethar?
Yes. Undead abomination as well.
He tells you that the powers may differ. He himself was not, Alanus himself was not high enough in the echelons of the organization to have received this level of power from God. He was well on his way, but there was only space enough for two Red Aethars. Had Kristen lived and had you killed the Red Aethar below, Alanus would have been the next to be promoted.
Brick, Victor is gonna scrutinize this guy as best he can to find out if he's actually this red priest in hiding. He'll look for any sort of symbolism or markings that the other red priest had.
You're not trained in religion. There'd be no way for you to tell that just by looking at him. Unless you're going to magically use something to determine if he's lying to you. There's really no way to tell.
I can do Zone of Truth if we do arrest, but we're not going to do arrest right now. Unless Ekon has it prepared.
Nope. I mean, this all sounds acceptable to me, but you will accompany us through the remainder of the tower.
He nods. He tells you that once you've dealt with the other Red Aethar, he would be more than happy to do that.
Mm-hmm.
What's in this other room?
Also, we'll need the passwords to all of the remaining doors that we haven't opened.
He tells you that once you deal with the Red Aethar in the room beyond, will be happy to give you the final password. That would open the way all the way to...
I'll kind of give Victor a look.
It seems Victor puts up a mind link with the party.
Victor, I want you to keep an eye on this guy. I'm expecting either we open the door and this Red Aethar in air quotes,
he's
tries to make the same deal, or it's just some cultist who hits us with a fireball.
I feel like this guy's actually the Red Aethar, but yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to instruct him to go stand over here, and I'm going to have Victor here.
Actually, hang on. I got a new ability when I got 9th level rogue. I have the Insightful Manipulator ability. So that may actually give me some... At the GM's discretion, I may be able to learn certain things about this person by talking to him.
Okay. What kind of check?
Let me just read the description of the ability for you.
Sure.
Just to make sure I get it absolutely right. I don't think it requires a check. I think it's just at your discretion.
Okay. Give me...
Insightful Manipulator. In starting at 9th level, if you spend at least 1 minute observing or interacting with another creature outside combat, you can learn certain information about its capabilities compared to your own. The DM tells you if the creature is your equal, superior, or inferior in regards to two of the following characteristics of your choice: intelligence, wisdom score, charisma score, class levels, if any. And at the DM's option, you might also realize you know a piece of this creature's history or one of its personality traits if it has any.
Okay. So the one piece of information that's going to be very helpful in that regard, you learn mechanics in relation to your own, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely has more Aethar class levels than you do. You can tell that you can tell that for sure.
But what about like overall class levels? I have 14.
Oh, you learn the number of levels he has?
It tells you equal, superior, or inferior in regard to 2 of the following characteristics: intelligence, wisdom, charisma, or class levels, if any.
Or class. So do I interpret that as total class levels, or do I interpret that as class levels that you, Evie, have? Like, can you learn his rogue class levels? Or just his
I would
class
say total
levels,
class
if
levels.
any? Well, that's what you would say, because that helps you the most now, but I'm going to make the fair determination.
From a sensible standpoint, it doesn't make any sense if the only thing you can say is this person a better rogue than I am?
Yeah, you're probably right. Evie, judging the man's capabilities, you would put his class levels roughly equivalent to your own,
He's
which
more
would
powerful than
make
anybody else.
him considerably more powerful than the other bishops you fought downstairs.
Mm-hmm. Is there something fishy about this guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Ekon, you stand before the door, and on the other side of the door, he's saying that the red Aethar is in there.
If it is your intention to surrender, Alanus, then surely turning over your holy symbol would not be too much to ask.
Very well, he says, and he holds out his staff to Victor.
Victor will go to take the staff very carefully.
Okay, as carefully as you want to take it, but you get it in
Okay.
your hand, and it's a staff.
Genie, can Genie give him like the arcane eye once over and see if he's got any wearing any magic auras on him after he hands over the staff?
There are no spells affecting, if that's what you mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Ekon, is your familiar still on Victor's shoulder?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't move it because we went to a new map.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, so with everybody, I think this is a good position for when this guy inevitably betrays us. And, yeah, let's
I feel like Orson would be in the room.
do it.
Okay.
I want Orson to block him from being able to leave.
Yeah.
Eugenia, are you in the room or no?
No,
So, yeah, I can all open the door.
I
Hey,
can't take
you
another
need-
fireball.
Yeah, you could stay
He's-
outside.
Yeah, G's had a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
He tells you the password to the door is Castaneus, as it has been.
Nice.
I take the holy symbol in one hand, and I say the password.
And inside the room is a rather opulent sleeping chamber compared to the other, especially compared to the barracks that you've seen downstairs. There's a 4-post bed with the curtains drawn at the far end of the room, a lit sconce on either side, some personal effects, a writing table, there's a foot locker here, an empty chamber pot, etc. And through the curtains, you can see the shape of a man laying motionless in the bed.
Victor is watching this bishop, waiting for him to do something.
And he's standing patiently next to you with his arms folded in front of him, watching through the door.
Edmont steps in
Okay, you step in.
ahead of his brother. Pulls the curtain aside.
Pull the curtain aside, and laying on the bed is the unconscious form of, looks very similar in dress to the Red Aethar that you fought in the village. This man is shorter and fatter than he was, but otherwise
Be asleep.
he's unconscious and breathing.
I say we
Give me
ask him-
a medicine check.
You put away all my dice, Brickroad.
There are infinity dice.
I know, but I had to go get another one. And you put them all away.
Oy vey.
That is a medicine check of 15. I've been hanging around my brother a lot.
So, looking the man over, you don't see that he's been wounded or anything. He's definitely not bound in any way, but leaning in to check his breath, he smells heavily of liquor. You suspect the man may have been heavily drugged.
Is he a drunkard? Edmont returns to the door.
Alanus tells you that he plied him with drink to get him to fall asleep. He was in a state of panic when you all had arrived at the base of the tower and was about to make some very, very bad decisions that was going to get everyone killed.
If you want him dead so badly, why didn't you kill him?
Jeannie's gonna whisper through the mind link. Somebody check to see if she's going to suggest you make like an investigation check, maybe, to see if somebody has switched their clothes. Because she says that's what I'd do.
I'm a disguise specialist.
I mean,
Would
Ekon
that
was
give me
going to come in
anything
and
Evie, give me an intelligence disguise kit check.
Sure. Okay. 1 sec. I've never made this check before, so I need to look up what I'm actually going to need to roll for this.
Brick,
That's
did
an
he,
intelligence check, and
bonus.
add your proficiency bonus if you're proficient in a disguise kit.
Okay.
did he respond to Victor?
What did Victor say?
Victor asked why this bishop didn't kill the man himself if he wants him dead so badly.
Because
He's drugged.
murder of a brother in your order is frowned upon by God.
I'm using my ability to re-roll this because it's a bad roll. This is the worst roll!
Oh no.
I'm spending 2 blips to roll it again.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now I have a 28.
Okay, give me a second to erase 2 of your blips.
It's fine, you already leveled.
Yeah.
So, Evie,
Yep.
you're not going to be able to do it from that space. You're at least going to have to be standing in the doorway and probably have to enter the room to... But yeah, you look closely, and to your eyes, you couldn't be sure without seeing several of the bishops standing very close to each other. But to your eyes, it looks like the man standing out in the hall with Victor, Alanis. It looks like his clothes fit a little too loosely, and the robes placed on this fat man laying in the bed, the Red Aethar, fit a little too tightly.
Okay, through the mind, like I say, they switched.
Can I get a surprise attack on him?
You can roll initiative.
yeah, that makes sense.
Let's roll.
No, you're not going to be able to surprise him because he's absolutely got his guard up.
Its wife is spell focused though, so that's cool.
You did.
That's not going to matter.
He wouldn't give it over to us if it mattered.
His spell focus isn't a staff anyway.
All right, who's at the top of my order?
And I didn't roll yet.
See.
Yeah, this guy's about to have a bad day.
No, that's probably fine.
Are we ready?
Yeah, who's at the top
Looks
of my
like
order?
So we've
Victor.
got Victor at 24 with Edmont on deck.
By the power of Grayskull.
Nope. Try that again.
By the power of Darkon.
Oh, that's even worse.
That's like you need to make a dark powers check for doing that.
Are you gonna stab the man?
I'm gonna stab him with necrotic damage. Actually,
Okay,
it does a 26 hit.
sure does.
Okay. Come on, big money.
Ooh. That magic
That's
D6
gonna
though.
be 30 points of necrotic doubled to 60.
Okay. That is yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I need all of you, absolutely everyone. Please make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
Genie passes, Orson fails.
Victor passes.
Edmont
passes
failed.
by using her intelligence.
Anyone who fails is frightened of the Red Aethar. until the start of its next turn.
Sure.
It's Victor. You spin around. You sink your blade into the man's neck. The necrosis seeps out over his chin and his mouth. You see his eyes roll back, and he clumps down to the ground in death. But no sooner does the fabric of his robe hit the ground, you hear the cackling again as he stands up. He says, "You will cower before the enemies of God."
So this is what I was expecting.
And the wave of dread that rolls off of him seeps into all of you. Anybody who failed that save is afraid, fear condition, until the end of his next turn. Victor, moving or staying put?
I guess Victor is going to back up a little bit. You know what? No, he's gonna stay here. Victor's gonna stay here.
Very good. Who's next?
Next up, we've got Edmont with Orson on deck.
Edmont is going to take an action to no longer be frightened
Okay.
and key point dodge there. That's the end of my turn.
Very good. Who's next?
Orson.
Next up, we've got Orson with Evie on deck.
Orson is going to make his pokes at disadvantage. Does a 16 hit?
16 does hit.
I was assuming that the standard can't move closer to the source of your fear situations in effect.
Yes.
That's why, yeah.
9 points.
9
Magic
points.
piercing.
Very good.
That's a second one's a nat 1, and then bonus action, the butt is another nat 1.
All right. And is Orson moving or staying put?
Orson is going to stay right here, because if he steps away, he will not be able to fight the monster anymore.
Okay. And who's next?
Got Genie with White Token on deck.
Genie, fix it.
Evie? Or
You
Evie?
skipped me.
Sure. Yeah, Evie's next.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Evie's next.
My bad.
We're twins, it's fine. We're interchangeable.
5, 10, 15. Can I attack him from where I'm standing?
Yeah. Door's open.
Okay. I say next time hire a tailor, and I'm going to steady aim, and I'm also going to allow Victor to attack when I also attack the false red Aethar.
Okay.
Did Victor get frightened?
No,
Okay, good.
it's also my dice.
Does the 27 hit?
Sure does.
Does a 23 hit?
Yes, it does. Let's resolve Evie first, though.
Yeah, he's probably he may not live through this. You did a lot of damage to him. How does 30 points of magical piercing treat you?
Okay. That's enough to drop him again. So, Victor, your attack is fruitless. However,
He gets up.
the robes catch fire, and the cackling resumes. And this time, as it rises, the flesh sloughs off, leaving behind only a skull.
This is
Cackling
different.
in Victor's face, although without the muscles of his tongue, he's no longer able to taunt you.
Okay.
Who's next?
Next up, we've got. That was on Evie's turn, right? So Genie
Yep.
with White
Uh,
Token.
All right. Firebolt does a 20 hit.
Yes.
Okay. Cantrips are 3 dice now, right?
Yeah.
Destil? Okay, yeah. 27 fire damage.
Okay. It is immune to fire damage.
Oh no.
Oh, that sucks.
The skull cackles in your face.
All right.
Moving or staying put?
Genie says crap and stays put because I don't have a turnout.
You may want to back away.
Who's next?
I'm fine.
Next up, we've got White Token with Ekon on deck.
Okay. I need to do some math.
Wackulations.
DC's only 13, huh? This is a weak monster. Don't like him. Can I get a dexterity saving throw, please, from Victor, Edmont, Orson, and Jeannie?
DC 13.
DC 13.
Pass. On the
Uh,
nose, actually.
On the nose for Genie, Orson failed.
I had to roll a 2 or better to make that save.
No, Orson passes because he's got like the stupid high plus
Yeah.
7 or whatever. I always forget that because my brain is defaulting to like what Gus was like Gus whenever I have to roll for Orson, and that's not the case.
29 points of fire damage, which you can cut in
Evasion
half.
fly?
Yes, it's a dexterity save.
Evasion.
As the thing cackles forth, the clattering of its teeth, and detonates a fireball in its own square, just engulfing this whole section of the tower. And it seems completely unharmed by this.
Edmont cackles right on back.
Victor cackles back.
It floats forward, though, to ensure none of you can move away from it.
That is
Who's next?
338.
That was white token, so Ekon.
Back on frightened.
So no. Ekon can move to there. And then
How do we kill the last one of these? I forget.
We just
Keep punching it until it stopped getting back up.
Yeah, you just have to wait for it to cycle through all its abilities.
Yeah.
This time I'm not werewolfing.
Probably overkill against this guy. He's not very strong.
Not very strong,
He
just
does have-
exploded a fireball. They're stronger than the other two kinds of priests you've been fighting.
who's up after me?
Did you put this guy here after we
Exactly.
killed the other one in town?
No, there were two red.
Sure, okay, excellent. Let's go ahead, and I'm just going to use a first level spell slot for this. So I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt. So that's an attack.
Okay.
It's an armor class of 12.
12 will not hit.
Okay. I don't think I have anything useful to do for my bonus action, so I'm just going to get some more cover against additional fireballs. Sorry, Victor. That's the end of my turn. We got Victor with Edmont.
Victor, fix it.
So
Victor's
you know,
gonna...
for my bonus action, I'll heal Genie. She's still pretty beaten up, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Genie, get back 9 hit points.
Okay.
So, bonus action, Victor's going to put the Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay.
And then we're going to hit him with the 19.
19 will hit.
Victor will cackle and then tell the skull to shut up.
It doesn't have ears anymore.
Oh, well. Alright, its non-ears can take 25 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, it is bloodied.
What? Just bloodied?
Just bloodied.
And then Victor's going to move back.
So you're leaving its threat range?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Nat 1. So you can safely move away from it. Who's next?
Edmont with Orson on deck.
Shift over to here and attack with this whip. That is a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
Need some d8s. Oops, sorry, Ekon.
I went for a
Ooh,
ride.
spicy. That's 13 slashing damage, 15 radiant damage from that.
That's enough. As the flames lick up the side of the floating skull, there's a clatter as it loses its animation and hits the floor and cackles no more.
Edmont prods it with his boot.
And you're poking a dead man's skull with your boot.
Edmont lets out a breath. Okay,
All right, what do we want to do with this guy?
good instincts.
Wake him up.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna wake him up.
He's probably drunk as a skunk from the smell of it.
Yeah, so you just kind of slap him awake.
Mm-hmm.
And Delirious has difficulty focusing his eyes, slurring his words really badly. He manages to mutter out that his name is Alanus. And he seems to kind of halfway recognize that he's wearing the wrong robes. But, I mean, he's drifting in and out of consciousness, and you all have tried to get anything reasonable out of a terribly drunk person in your life, I'm sure. It doesn't ever go well.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to sober him up, or if you have some way to cure poison.
I
I
don't think
don't.
I have anything for poison. Let me look.
I'm good at doing the opposite of that.
Victor, may I borrow your decanter, please?
Yep, there you go.
Jeannie says one of the, I guess the second level one, not the one that like shoots out like a pressure
Fire.
jet of water, but like the one, and I just dump water on him
Okay?
to
He's,
sober him up.
now he's
That's
wet
not
and
gonna
drunk.
sober him up.
Does-
Sober.
We're just gonna need to let him sit for a couple hours.
I've heard that worked.
It doesn't.
Maybe
I don't know where you heard
drinking-
that.
Drinking water would help, but it's still gonna take a while.
I mean, I've hauled people to the drunk tank before in our house, or in our,
I
in
mean-
our village.
He's not a threat to us. He's probably just another rank and file cultist. It's fine.
I mean,
It's possible that he was authentically what the other guy said he was.
I mean, I
actually
Sincerely
opposed
doubt
Kristen.
that.
I don't know. We'll see.
Doubtful.
I could cast Lesser Restoration on him if you want. If I want, so the question is that worth a level 3 spell slot?
I don't think
That's
it
your
is.
call.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do it because
Okay.
we need the password. We need somebody to see if he has the password to the.
So you
Down the
cast
floors.
Lesser Restoration on the man wearing the red Aethar's robes
Yep.
and balm the poisons from his body. And he lurches forward on the bed and retches onto the floor. And after a few moments, puts his head to his hand, leans back and sees all of you, startles backwards. And this is when he notices that he's wearing the red Aethar's robes. What am I... Who are you?
The
Red
Ravenflumph
Aether
tried to
tried.
kill you.
He's also wet.
He's also very wet.
The Red Aether tried to murder you by putting you in our way.
And he holds up his hands. Says, "Well, now wait. There's no need for further violence, surely." Which is the exact same thing the other guy said.
Yeah.
Before.
And he starts giving you the exact same story that the other guy did. He was the bishop next in line to be raised to the status of a Red Aethar. Here's men inside of the tower who had factioned off and thought Crescent had deviated from the whole same song and dance again.
We
The only
can
difference
keep
is
going
he's
later.
wet and kind of covered in his own vomit a little bit.
All right, so I guess
you
after
have any-
talking to a couple minutes, I still have the insightful manipulator.
Okay. Yeah, he's your as far as class levels go, he's your inferior in basically every way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, do I think he's telling the truth?
That's up to you.
We can
Then-
truth zone him later. We'll take his spell focus and such. And leave
He
him
doesn't
alone.
have one, actually. When you ask him for his spell focus, I mean, he pats himself down and he searches around the area, looks on the little nightstand next to the four-post bed, and he describes the staff that he typically carries, which is the same kind of staves you saw downstairs. And you realize that Victor had taken it from the man outside.
Mm-hmm.
We'll deal with him later, but I feel like he might actually be telling the truth.
What's
Well,
the? What's the-
leaders.
Ask him about the.
Yeah, what's the password to get to the highest level?
So you've come to kill Kristen, then? That's-
Not kill him. It sounds like he's already at the end of his rope.
We've come to free you.
He nods, and he tells you that the password to the highest levels that will open the stairwell leading up to Kristen's chamber is Tlusa,
Lusa?
What's that the word for?
an old Aetherine word meaning banana.
I think we tried banana downstairs. It didn't work.
Tried on the wrong door.
Edmont looks around this room and then says, "I can imagine worse prison cells." And he
Now, okay.
ushers.
Here's
He
the
makes for
thing.
everyone to step out.
I think there is a non-zero chance that when we kill Kristen, this entire place is going to collapse. It seems to be held together entirely by his magical will. It's just like a ramshackle shambles of an abomination. So
Here's the other thing: is that we're not killing Chrism, or at least anyone who isn't me isn't.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna go to this next door.
Okay, and what?
Meligranatum.
Nope.
Banana?
Nope.
Plusa.
Orange, you
I'm
glad
going-
I didn't say banana?
Oh,
Yes.
Destil beat me to that joke.
I'm gonna see everybody exit this room before he closes the door, leaving
Yeah.
them.
I say we'll speak later.
So you're leaving him alone in the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
with no spell focus.
Okay.
Walnut?
Castanias
Castanias, yeah.
is the word for chestnut. And yeah, the door opens, and the room beyond looks very similar to the room that you were just in. Opulently furnished, there's a 4-post bed, a separate writing table. It looks to be the other Red Aethar's sleeping quarters, the one that you killed down in the village.
Is there anything like ink and quill or anything here on that writing table, or is it just an empty table?
Yeah, there's ink and quill and evidence. A few
Like
sheets
anything
of
written?
parchment. No.
Okay.
No, all of his magically inclined valuables he had with him when he went down to the village and for the ceremony.
All right, last chance. We want to take a rest before we confront Kristen. I'm not sure he's going to be in a state to fight, but there's no way of us knowing until we get there.
He's gonna summon a giant demon if he's not.
I think
Well, look-
going sooner rather than later is better.
Let's check
Agreed.
this room out before we decide.
Castanias.
And the door opens up. And it reveals a meeting chamber with several chairs sitting more or less in a circle in the center of the room.
So this is the same thing as what we have in our house. He stole our idea, the bastard.
All diplomacy is out of the window.
Yeah.
Evie is out
Now
for
he was gonna-
blood.
Now he was going to
Not quite, because he does not have an Up-a-Majigger installed.
Yeah, he's a schlub like that.
Which is really a shame because he could really use an Up-a-Majigger.
Yeah.
Of note in this room?
With his bad
Just
health.
looks like this is a room where the high priests or the Red Aethars or the bishops would meet to discuss things. The chair in the center is larger than the rest, but they look comfortable enough, cushioned chairs. But otherwise, the room is unadorned except for the sconces along the walls.
Edmont steps over to this door then, and
Okay.
then he says, Lusa.
And the
He is
door
very banana.
opens into the spiral shaft that you had explored somewhat earlier.
Hey, up we go. Guessing over here.
You can guess away. You're going to have to wait on me in any event.
Yes, that's my guess.
You don't get a bonus for guessing correctly. Like, you don't get anything.
Oh, heck yeah. I guess right. I get a bonus in my heart.
He gets the
So-
satisfaction.
Bear with me just a moment, if you would, please.
Sure.
I know this is ruining it, but I want everybody to acknowledge how good I've been about not making that "oh no, there's a bear with brick road" joke.
Oh yeah.
I would praise you for that. Yes.
Okay, I want everybody to know that I'm making an honest effort not to say that.
I'm
See-
proud of you.
You come up not to the top landing of the staircase, but you come up to a landing. So the stairs do continue up, and there's another door in front of you here.
So did they say that he's on the top floor, or did they say he's on the floor above us?
They said his chambers were on the top floor.
Okay, all right.
Do we want to go further up, or do we want to hit this room first?
Well, it depends on... You got two different answers. The first man, the fake Alanus, just motioned to the ceiling. The second man, presumably the real Alanus, or the second fake Alanus.
But he expects the second fake Alanus.
Nobody does.
Yeah, if they pull the double bluff, then I can't even be mad.
Let's go ahead and take a look at it anyway. Toulouse.
Some Ocean's 11 by the bad guys.
And the door opens up into the small hallway beyond.
This is some Ganon shit right here.
And you start hearing his
Edmont.
overture playing.
Stepping out into the hallway, there's a door immediately to your left, and then there's one across the hall in front of you. And looking at the exterior walls, all along your right-hand wall here, inside you see the slithery shapes of mud mephits moving about in between the translucent slats of the wall.
Oh, hell no, I'll
They're
be all
building
bastard.
this place like on the fly.
No, I don't
holding
think
this
that-
place together.
Ew.
I don't. And all of them could just jump out at any moment.
Any moment.
Let's go left.
You're standing in front of the door, Evie.
I open it.
How?
With what?
Oh, Plusa,
Does not open.
Malaganatum.
Does not open.
What are the other ones?
Castanius.
Castanius?
Does not open.
Bacchus?
Does not open.
Is it a door that can? Is there a doorknob?
No, it looks identical to the other doors you've been opening with passwords the whole time.
Okay, so this is one that's just not going to open to us yet. We do not know the word for that one.
Coming down the hallway narrows, revealing yet another hexagonal dais. Upon this one, the creature is unmistakable. Once again, it looks as though it's made out of lapping flames, engulfing it from below. And this one is a majestic-looking firebird.
I'm not going to go over there yet.
Try
Do you
this
think-
door. Castanius.
Nope,
How about Toulouse?
Toulouse does not work.
What the heck?
Bacchus?
Bacchus does not work.
Malagranatum?
Does not work.
Shit.
What's the old Adrian word for mephit?
This is the scene where you keep hitting your shoulder button to switch key cards.
Yeah.
Try all of them.
Victor tries.
Do we have to go all the way back to the start of the game? Oh, wait, that's a sniper rifle, isn't it?
That boss fight had both key cards. You got to go back and get it.
Snake, it was actually all the passwords at the same time.
The Twin Snakes version, you could just do it all in the same room.
Stand in front of the steam for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's twins, then which one of us is Solid Snake and which one is Liquid? Which one?
I don't think any of you were
Um,
Solid Snake. Come on.
Well.
So what's
I'm gonna
next?
peer down this hallway.
Okay. You see the beautiful Firebird statue that looks as though it's made out of metal flames.
That will definitely not come to life at an inopportune moment.
Absolutely not.
Looking around the corner, it ends in another door.
Lusa?
Bear with me one moment. Make sure I know where this... it does not open.
How about Castanius?
No good.
Might be the backside of that room, but anyway, just for the sake of completion, I suppose Bacchus and Malagranatum neither
No good.
work.
Neither work.
Okay, back
What is-
out.
Is there an old Adrian word for firebird?
Try the old
Phoenix.
A3 word for Phoenix and
Yeah.
doesn't work either.
Okay.
Is there any
know-
magic on this statue?
It's the same form of magic that you saw on the 6 statues downstairs that vanished.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think? Oh, you know what? Do you think Christen's turning into a phoenix,
Could be.
He might be trying to.
and that's why he's not in a good spot?
Do we think this statue corresponds to Kristen?
It's a possibility.
What happens if we smash the statue?
Probably nothing.
He comes
ahead.
alive and tries to eat us.
Edmont,
I
where
Do
you
we
mean-
at?
have any other areas we haven't looked in the tower right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
No,
stairs continue upward. The
Oh,
stairs land
Let's
in
go
those
back.
places.
Let's go back and ask the bishop what's up with this room.
No, I'm gonna head up.
Let's check upstairs
Okay,
first.
let
and
me
then-
save the proper map this time.
Don't do it, Brickard. I believe in you.
And you come back to the top of the staircase.
All right. I've already tried the first 3, so Toulouse should open this door.
And it does indeed. But what is on the other side of it, we'll have to wait for next week.
No.
Denied.
So sad.
This is the final map, though. We made it all the way to the top.
We did.
Okay. Save that as the top of the tower. Very good. I need to set up a straw poll here. You guys got a crap load of combat experience. It's going to take me a minute to calc.exe all that up. So I'm going to go dark for a few minutes while I do some calculations, let you guys talk about your blips, and I will be right back.
Who's most creative today?
I can't really think of anything. That was. I want to give that to Victor for his suspicion of the Red Aethar.
Yeah.
I was gonna put that for party goals.
Okay.
Creative could be how Evie solved it.
Decent.
With disguise and
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm good with that.
Okay,
So the
so
badass.
Ekon for using the Hammer of Air. Or no, you know what? I want to give that to Edmont for. I want to give that to Edmont for being immune to Mephit Death Bursts. I still think that's just
Cool
amusing.
guys, don't look
That
at
is funny.
explosions.
Which the badass or the intangibles?
The badass. It doesn't matter. I can't think of anything for badass. I don't want any
Nice.
blips
Why not?
because I'm already leveled up.
I think Treble's trying to push, like, I think me higher up. That way I can catch up to everyone else on level.
Right, him and Chris, yeah, trying to prop them up. So yeah,
Okay, so what do we want to do for intangibles then?
so it was creative was Evie, right?
Yep,
For the disguise kit.
Party goals was
Victor.
Victor.
For being extremely sus of this guy.
You got badass for being
Being immune to
immune,
explosions.
and
I think I want
Class.
to give it something to Ekon for he's going to be the one who decides what happens to Kristen.
Is he though?
Oh, we don't know. I'm sure he thinks so.
All right. Who wants some experience points?
Treble told us he doesn't want any.
Trouble doesn't want any? Okay. That's
Man,
wow, just right under the bus there. Just stopped, turned back, threw it in reverse, and just hit me again.
So for 8 cult fanatics, 3 bishops, the Red Aethar, 3 mud mephits, and the Relentless Juggernaut. Everyone is taking 2,783 experience. 2783.
What about the helpless prisoners?
I don't think they count.
What about the helpless prisoners?
We didn't kill them, we left them locked up.
No, their deal was that they were supposed to look like monsters, and they're not. They're commoners who were losing control of their bodies.
Yeah,
And then we murdered them
They were
all.
tragic figures, and you killed all of them.
It's putting them out of misery. We had no way to save them.
You don't know that.
yeah, you can't know that.
We tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas.
Well, I was compelled to murder them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, failing the horror check.
Yeah, I would have. I had ideas on what to do, but I failed the horror check.
Such is the nature of the horror check. Waking them up is just a bad idea in general.
It was really a bad idea.
All right, let me get my spreadsheet on screen here so I can start.
Like Ekon was
onboarding.
planning to like try and maybe surgically remove her antlers and remove her from that place physically, but
Those are some nightmare creatures, man.
Yeah.
You see, McDohl, furries aren't always fun.
Listen, Brickred.
Do you,
Listen, Brickred, you don't know what I'm about. I don't tell you everything about myself.
All I know-
Are you-
next time you go to FurryCon, I want you to dress up as the Antler Woman.
all I know about furries is they win all the Street Fighter tournaments.
They
Yeah.
also keep the internet working.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
The Antler Woman, that's like some 2005 creepypasta.
You know what that is? That's a Fallout Boy.
Yeah. Thank you,
music
Furry,
video.
for keeping the internet working, you guys.
Who wants to make their case for some aspect blips?
I can go.
Genie.
Neutral. Try to be better than I was yesterday. For her, she was very sympathetic to the Nightmare Commoner plight, and she was trying to help them. And then she, of course, failed.
She got bit.
She failed. So anything after that's not really my fault. Well, that's not really true because. But anyway, ideals practical solutions to impractical problems. For Genie expending. She overkill on the monster, not
I-
a monster. The person.
I really enjoy you wasting that scorching ray on a commoner with 10 hit points.
Well, like the thing is my reasoning behind that was Genie. So Genie kind of sees her situation in that they were captured and experimented upon and changed against their will, right?
Oh yeah.
And she just figured she'd give them. It was a combination of she's losing her shit a little bit, and a combination of the more damage I do, the quicker it is. Like she didn't want to like shoot them with a firebolt and then it not kill them and then linger.
Okay.
You know.
Anything else?
My flaw for no, that doesn't really fit. The video, just those three.
Okay. Who's next?
I can go.
Evelyn.
Who's Evelyn?
What do you mean, who's Evelyn?
Okay. Aspect, chaotic good. I will do my duty, but I shall always be true to myself for comforting her sister after the failed board trek. Ideal, I must become a leader others can believe in for being willing to hear out the real, fake Aether, or red Aether guy. Alanus, whatever he really is, she will hear him out when this is all over. And last but not least, Flaw, no one understands for... While she was busy comforting Genie, Victor murdered all the prisoners.
Okay. Who's next?
I can go.
Victor.
So for values knowledge over people, that would be insisting on waking the creatures up with some restoration to try and figure out who they are and who did them.
That turned out to be a lousy idea.
Yeah, whatever it takes would be killing them to put them out of their misery after he saw them screaming in absolute pain. And then ideal of seeking the truth no matter the cost, that would be the suspicion of the Red Priest followed by the absolutely not surprised attack.
Yeah, I was hoping he would last through at least one more transformation, but he got back more hit points than he would have because he turns into a flame skull for some reason. And then he rolled flame skull again, which means he dies. Ah, too bad. I heard Edmont next.
I've got my alignment, lawful evil, blood runs thicker than water, and my own blood thicker still. Okay, Ekon, we're going over here. We don't need to talk. We don't need to think about exploding all of these people. We're just gonna go over here and sit for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, life is my canvas, and I will make my mark on it for sending Azalyn's spy out of here.
I'm sure that won't be relevant later.
Yeah. And my flaw. This world is filled with predators and prey, and I sure as hell am not the prey for just mephits. What are they? We just don't know.
There's so many mephits in this tower, and none of them did anything good. I'm gonna have to invent like a super mephit.
Isn't that just like a pit fiend?
Yeah, it's just an imp, I guess. It's like the little toy bottle rocket. You can only make them so powerful before they're just a rocket now, and then they're not fun anymore. Ekon, do you have anything for me?
Yeah. So I've got Lawful Good, the Shining Words of Air, lay down a path for us all for calling down the Hammer of Air instead of saving that spell slot for a heal, which would have been probably actually a lot smarter.
Okay.
And then I've got Flaw. I'm sure something good has to be just over that next hill for his use of Lesser Restoration on the cultists with fireballs, because obviously something will, they'll make it out of here somehow.
Is that it?
An initiative.
Who had the most creative solution to a problem this week?
Victor twigging into the to the ruse of the red Aethar.
Victor?
Yeah, Victor.
Oh no, that was Jeannie.
Yeah, Jeannie for how she got around it, how she solved
We're
it.
kind of
that was
creative.
Evie.
Evie, yeah.
Evie.
Okay.
Yeah, that's creativity for that, and Victor was party goals for twigging to it originally.
So Victor's taking the blip for the assist. Who
Yeah.
was the badass this week?
That was Edmont for just ruining all of your
Don't
fun.
look at
with-
explosions.
Listen, you've ruined all of the fun you could have had with your mephits.
He didn't ruin all my fun. I came within one attack of actually killing Jeannie. Like, it
With
was
the
right-
mephits.
The mephits are just a distraction. The Relentless Juggernaut was the real threat. Were you
Yeah.
worried about the mephits in that room?
Yeah, if the mephits hadn't snagged me that one turn, I would have just left the mephits and gone to go fight the Juggernaut.
So the Juggernaut for his legendary action, he recharges that like the world attacks you and ability, even if it's not recharged, and he can use it. But it's a saving throw. It's a hit roll, which means it can't crit, which means it can't do 2 death saves. And I'm like, oh,
Like, would you really have just killed me this late in the campaign?
you're goddamn right. I would have.
So like, I just like, all right, guys, I'll see you guys at the start of.
Who do you think I am?
I just want everybody watching to know.
Suddenly, a mysterious adventurer appears in the last room, trapped in a cell. It's Jeannie's new character.
Didn't I kill Liberation in like the final dungeon like 3 times?
Yeah, I think it did.
I mean, by that
It was
point, you
either
have
Liberation or it might have been
Liberation
Elbow.
drank molten gold, which was
He did.
really funny because like
he didn't die from that.
intangibles. Are you guys tangible this week?
That was either, I forget if that was that was Victor or Edmont, and I don't remember for what.
We were still trying to figure that out.
Who was least tangible?
And Victor was not tangible at all.
Yes, Victor was down the stairs. So Victor.
You want to award Victor a blip for hiding down the stairs?
I
He
was going
wasn't-
to give it to Ekon for deciding that he's going to be the one who decides what happens to Kristen. That's what was my suggestion.
Honestly, I'm okay with giving it to Victor.
Evie failed death saves. Victor didn't. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't fail any death saves. I haven't taken a point of
Gee.
damage in a while.
So who are we awarding it to?
Victor.
Victor.
To Victor. That might be the saddest blip I've ever seen awarded.
I think Bernie took that exact blip for a couple of times.
For being a total wiener.
But
being
Bernie
like-
never presented himself as anything other than the world's biggest coward. All right, and
Victor, yeah,
Edmont.
Victor does have a pretty big facade that he doesn't keep up very well.
Edmont has our straw poll, and we're
Hey.
level 14 now. Somebody hit 14 last week,
Yes.
so blips are now worth 833 each. 833.
That might Change my calculus a bit.
Edmont, you have 6 and you earn 5. Ekon, you have 2 and earned 3. You're going to come in next week with 5?
Yeah.
Evie, you had 4 and earned 4. Would you like to come in next week with 6?
Yes.
So you're rolling over 2.
Yes.
Jeannie, you had 2 and earned 3. You coming next week with 5?
Yes.
Victor, you had 6 and earned 5.
All right.
All right. And when we come
Victor,
back,
get a level.
if we come back next week, we will see what horrors await you at the very tippy top of Christen's Crystal Tower. Thanks for playing. See everybody next week.
Later.
Later.